Now that we know a little bit about color correction inside of Photoshop, I want to take things a bit further and take a look at a scenario which will need a little bit more work. Well, here we have this nice outdoor portrait, and one of the things that can happen sometimes when you're using available light is you may get different types of color casts. Like in this case, we're getting this blue cast because this image was captured in open shade and the color temperature in our camera wasn't set correctly. Well, how can we correct this? Well, here's what we're going to do. We'll press the I key to select the eyedropper tool, and we're going to set a few points. We'll then analyze those points and try to make some color corrections in order to get our RGB values pretty close to equal so that this image can be color correct. Well, again, press the I key to select the eyedropper tool. Next, hold down the Shift key and go ahead and click in a couple areas of the image. I'm going to click on the background, also set one point here on the dress, and then one point here on the shoulder of the sweater. Well, let's take a look at our numbers. Well, again, we can straight off the bat see we have some problems. Our red, green, and blue values are not close to equal in really any of these points. Let's start off on the garment here, point number 2. Let's correct that. We'll go ahead and click on our Curves Adjustment Layer icon to create a new Curves layer. Next, what we can do is go to a particular channel, like the blue channel. Then with the Target Adjustment tool selected, I'll go ahead and hover over this area, and then I'm going to click and drag. And a lot of times what will happen is you may click and drag the wrong direction, meaning adding too much blue. No big deal. Simply click and drag in the other direction. And all we're interested in doing is trying to bring these numbers a little bit closer together. Well, now they're pretty close over here, 49, 51, 54, 57, 172, 174. Good. Yet that red channel, lots of problems there. No big deal. Let's go back to that. Again, with that Target Adjustment tool, all we're going to do is simply click and drag, trying to bring these numbers pretty close together. Now, as I did that, my darker points in the dress and also in the sweater look good. My brighter point over here, this backdrop, problem. The red went too far, and we can see that in the skin and in the background. Well, no big deal. With this same Target Adjustment tool, which is this tool here, we're going to go ahead and click there and drag down. And you can see that what I'm doing here is I'm just controlling some of those brighter values at this point. And so I corrected that background color as well. All right, well now our RGB values are pretty close together. And here we learned something pretty valuable. And that is, when seeking to color correct photographs, a lot of times we're going to need to set more than one point. We can then work with these different points in order to get our images to look really good. Well, let's take a look at the before and after. Here we have the before, and now we have the after. This image is looking much better.